This next story is about what some people are capable of overcoming. This is about a radical new therapy that may hold great promise for the tens of millions of Americans who suffer chronic pain. And along the way, this story also became about a love story. Natalie Morales reports on a tragedy that has become a triumph.
Sam Brown lived for challenges, the son of a proud military family. He attended West Point, then trained to be an Army Ranger. And in 2008, Lieutenant Sam Brown deployed for his first tour of duty in Kandahar, Afghanistan. That was Sam before. This is what Sam looks like now. On the last day of his mission 4 years ago, his Humvee ran over an IED and exploded into a fireball. His body was engulfed in flames.
Describe the feeling of those moments right after when your body was on fire.
I literally thought I was going to die, and my instinctual reaction was to throw my arms in the air and cry out to God. I remember thinking, how long will it take for me to burn to death?
Sam suffered third-degree burns over 30% of his body. Dr. Christopher Mani, an anesthesiologist at Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio, says Sam was lucky to be alive, but he was facing a long recovery.
With burn injury, that rehabilitative process can go on for weeks to months, sometimes even years.
He couldn't really eat anything or much food because his mouth was literally the size of a nickel.
Lieutenant Amy Larson was a dietitian in the burn unit. She marveled at Sam's drive to get better.
What I found so interesting about Sam is his motivation and his desire to recover in a timely manner.
In order to recover, Sam endured more than 24 painful surgeries, but the most excruciating pain came from the daily wound care and the physical therapy that followed.
That therapy is what would start sending the pain right up the top of the chart. It would get to the point where it was unbearable, and I'd have to ask the therapist to stop.
Sam was deeply concerned about growing dependent on addictive pain-killing narcotics. So his doctor suggested something completely unexpected, a video game.
When they mentioned this to you, did you think, oh yeah, playing a video game, how's that going to help?
I was a little bit skeptical, but honestly, I was willing to try anything.
A video game may sound silly, but Snow World is a groundbreaking experiment in virtual reality. Here, Sam could concentrate on throwing snowballs at penguins and mastodons to the music of Paul Simon, instead of focusing on the painful wound care happening at the same time. Dr. Mani says it uses an age-old trick.
It's saying, hey, look over there when you rip off your child's Band-Aid. But really what we're going to do here is provide that distraction and then overwhelm the senses so that they basically don't have time or attention being put into the pain pathway.
This alternate world was dreamed up at the University of Washington by two psychologists, Dr. David Patterson and Dr. Hunter Hoffman. Hoffman had been using virtual reality to help people confront their fears, in this case, spiders. But this time, instead of bringing his patients face to face with what they dreaded most, he'd do the opposite. He'd give them a soothing, icy world to make them forget.
When you're in Snow World, you're in kind of white noise, so you're not thinking about the outside world, and that means you're also not thinking about your injury.
In 2011, the military conducted a small study using Snow World and got stunning results. For soldiers in the worst pain, Snow World worked better than morphine. And with thousands of troops having suffered severe burns and trauma from IED blasts, the military is determined to find new ways to treat pain.
The increase in your ability to survive a severe burn has improved dramatically in the past 20 years.
And really the pain meds haven't really changed all that much. I mean, they're still using the opiates, which they used back in the 1800s, right?
Yeah, it's interesting that morphine is still the main way that pain's reduced. The fact that you're getting such huge reductions in pain using something that's not a drug is a paradigm shift.
We found it hard to believe that the virtual reality of Snow World could work so well. So we asked to try it for ourselves.
So in order to demo Snow World here, you're going to put me through some pain?
We're going to kind of find a range of pain that's pretty bad but tolerable.
They attached a pain simulator to my foot. and made it hotter and hotter.
I definitely feel that one more.
At 116 degrees, it felt like stepping on burning hot pavement for 15 long seconds.
How much time were you thinking about the pain?
For most of the time, I think.
Okay.
Then they applied the same amount of heat, but this time while I was playing the game.
I'm going into Snow World. My son would be genius at this game. Oh, I got him.
But before I knew it, they stopped me.
Okay.
Yep. Are we done?
Okay.
Is it over?
How would you rate your pain that time?
You know, I think it was actually interesting. Putting the headphones on really shut everything out. So I wasn't even really aware of anything else going on but the game.
What you're looking at here is...
Just look at the difference it makes in the brain. Dr. Hoffman showed us scans of people in pain with and without this virtual world.
You can see the brain really lights up in response to pain. During virtual reality, the pain is much reduced. So not only are people telling you that their pain is drastically reduced, but their brain activity tells you the same story.
For Sam, Snow World was a godsend. For the first time since his accident, he felt relief without drugs.
What did it feel like entering that world?
It just gets you in the mindset of, something totally opposite of what you've been experiencing for the last few months.
But Sam found something even more powerful to heal his pain. He was out of the hospital when his dietitian, remember Amy Larson, would check to make sure he was receiving his nutritional supplements. One time when she called, the old Sam came through.
I asked if there was anything else that he needed, and he kind of started to joke around with me a little bit, and he said, well, can you send me some donuts too? And then I could tell that Sam kind of wanted to talk a little bit more. And
Flirting.
Yeah, joking around a little bit.
With you.
Yeah.
They began dating, but at times Sam couldn't believe that what was happening was real.
Did you think that it was impossible that someone like her would be attracted to you?
I did. And I had convinced myself that no one would give me any time to even get to know who I was because of the outward scars.
It had to be really hard with the inward scars, too.
Yeah. I had a chaplain come talk to me one day, and he could sense the distress. He said, Sam, I want you to know that while you're really caught up about your outward scars, you shouldn't be concerned, because someone will see beyond those scars, will fall in love with you, and you'll have a beautiful family one day. I literally laughed at him, and probably about 6 months later, he was officiating our wedding.
Sam and Amy got married, and 3 years after the blast, they welcomed a son, Roman, into the world. Sam lives with very little pain now, and he no longer needs the virtual reality of Snow World.
This world that you've created is probably the only world you find comfort in now, right?
The world I have now with Amy and Roman, and God willing, more children, is all I need.
Our thanks to the family. Our thanks to Natalie Morales for her reporting.